Welcome back here to Sports Extra. I'm Marty Jaws Ledbetter, and alongside me, Cody Adams. And Cody, just got done talking about the high expectation of the men's basketball team. They were being projected to finish third in the Missouri Valley Conference. Switch gears, go over to the women's side now. Projected fifth in the Missouri Valley Conference by the time everything's said and done. You were there, and you said that there were some players that were a little upset, but as a whole, the team said it's their job to come out and prove the critics wrong.
Exactly. They felt like they were a little bit snubbed. You know, they felt like fifth was a little bit too low. They wanted to be in that 3 to 4 range. Understandably so. You would obviously like to be picked first. But
absolutely.
There's some very good teams in the Missouri Valley Conference this year. Coach Morin said that she was expecting that fifth spot about. Shannon Thomas, basically her thing was they can pick us wherever they want as long as we're first at the end of the year. That's all that matters.
Right.
And I love that mentality. This team doesn't care what people think of them right now. They just know that they have components to this team to come out, play well, and do some good things. And I think that they're going to put a very talented team on the court that a lot of people are going to enjoy watching.
Well, Shannon Thomas is one of those key people that you just talked about, and we'll talk more about her here in a minute. With her game in the exhibition game, as Indiana State women were able to beat Bellarmine 84-39. Behind senior leaders like Shannon Thomas, we also had Deja Maddox had a very big game, and we also saw Brittany Shane had a huge game for Indiana State women.
Oh, absolutely. Brittany Shane putting up 5 3-pointers. We know that she can shoot the three. That's something that she has done her entire career here, but putting up 5 in one game,
right.
I think that's going to be something you're going to see a lot of this year. I think with Shannon Thomas in the post, being able to feed the ball through her and work the ball through her gets Brittany Shane the ability to find screens and get open shots, and we're going to get a lot of that this year.
Well, Brittany Shane and Deja Maddox, along with Taylor Whitley, were all the 3 other players that I was kind of surprised weren't at least higher up in the voting, especially Taylor Whitley. I thought she deserved some votes for being in the preseason all-conference.
Oh, absolutely. Taylor Whitley, in my opinion, is one of the best point guards in this conference. Very talented. We saw her last year do some amazing things against defenses. A lot of that comes from the fact that she's so darn fast. I mean,
yes.
She has the ability just to dribble around defenders, and we've seen her do it, and we're going to see her do it a lot more this year. They're going to play a lot of up-tempo this year. They want to get up down the court, do some things. It's going to be a little bit new to what they did last year because they were still with some of the players that were left from the regime before. But Terry Morin now has got her offense established, knows what she wants to do. Started out by bringing in some great freshmen to come in and contribute immediately. Trevicia Franklin being one of those, along with Jessica Valley. Jessica Valley is going to be a lights-out shooter for this team. I can tell you that much already. And Trevicia Franklin really going to be that missing defensive link that this team has been hoping for. Come in, play high-energy minutes, and just get in the face of opposing offensive players.
Earlier this week, Sports Extra's own Grace Oliver was able to sit down and talk with some players and Coach Terry Morin about the upcoming season for the Indiana State women's basketball program.
We're just all really excited because our first game's tomorrow, and that's always just, you've been working hard all preseason and all summer, so, I mean, it's what you look forward to, and it's just the start of a long season, but a fun season.
Look forward to in the 2011-2012 playing season. We have a veteran group that returns to us. We got 4 of our 5 starters that return in the lineup, as well as 6 newcomers. So there's a lot of new faces, a lot of new pieces, which means way more depth for us in order to play up tempo and press and do some things we want to do on the defensive end. It'll be good to have extra bodies coming off the bench, and we're just really looking forward to a very good preseason schedule, a difficult one that's going to prepare us for Valley play, and then we go into the Valley with another great season to look forward to from top to bottom. It's a very difficult league. But again, right now we're just trying to get better each and every day and preparing day in and day out. And right now we're going to take, we take one practice at a time, one day at a time, and we'll certainly take one game at a time.
I'll be traveling around with the team as they go through Missouri Valley Conference action this year, running the Facebook page, running the Twitter page. Be the guy writing all the recaps of hopefully a lot of wins on GoSycamores.com, making sure all the stats are good to go on there and just kind of being there with the team to keep everybody up to date with everything Indiana State women's basketball.
The Indiana State women's basketball team will kick off the start of their regular season, and with the preseason women's NIT coming up this Friday, tip-off against Detroit at the Holman Center at 8:05 p.m. right after the men's basketball game. Cody, what are you looking to see from the women's team in this game?
I think most importantly, it's just getting the ball to Shannon Thomas. Like we were talking about, she's put on some muscle. She's really wanting to become that next level athlete
Absolutely.
for this basketball team. And it's going to start with this Friday against Detroit. They've got to get her the ball, get things going through her. When you do that, that's going to bring 2 or 3 defenders down because she's a tall athlete. I mean, she's got the size to make defenses really kind of shiver in her presence. In doing that, that's going to give Brittany Shane wide open shots. And if you can do that, that's almost a guaranteed 3 every time.
Another thing that I'm really interested in seeing this year, Cody, is the injuries. If Indiana State can avoid the injury bug, I know there's not a whole lot that you can do as a player. Injuries happen. It's a sport. You're going to have problems with that. But we've seen key players in the past few years get hurt. Deja Maddox got hurt last year. As we said, we saw Taylor Whitley step up big time after Deja got hurt. But if she can stay healthy for the entire year, along with everyone else of those key players, Shannon Thomas, Brittany Shane, Taylor Whitley, huge potential for this women's basketball team.
Deja Maddox is very, very talented. She was an All-American in high school, McDonald's All-American, just really talented athlete. Unfortunately, like you said, injuries have really come to bite her. Hopefully she can stay healthy this year because this team is going to need her moving forward. They've got the talent. Depth is a little bit of an issue. They've got a lot of young people. You're bringing back Anna Munn, who was a big freshman last year for this team. Andrea Rademacher is going to be big for this team. But Deja Maddox has to step in and be able to start day in and day out for this team.
Well, Coach Morin even talked about it right there in that little video package that we saw about the integration of the veterans with the younger players and how that is going to be a key thing throughout the entire season to look for Indiana State to win.
As I was at practice one day, Marty, I actually was watching them, and I was surprised at the chemistry, the fact that these seniors and freshmen have just combined so well, and the fact that it seems like they've been playing together for 2 or 3 years. And a lot of that is because these freshmen have stepped in and they've got the experience of playing in state championships in high school. Like I said, Jessica Valley was part of that Columbus East high school team that won the state tournament. And they've just got a lot of talent coming in that's really going to help them out moving forward.
Cody, one thing that I really am looking at this year, both the men and women have these big high-profile tournaments that a lot of eyes are going to be looking down on them. What do the women have to do to prove to everybody that they deserve to be one of the top 3 teams in a very competitive Missouri Valley Conference women's side of basketball? Because the men's side is very competitive, the women's side is arguably even closer.
Yeah, as if them going and finishing 4th, I believe it was, in the Missouri Valley tournament last year, making it to semi-state. We've talked about it before. They were kind of in the shadow of the men who won the Missouri Valley tournament on their side. This women's team has to come out and just compete. They've just got to play with these bigger Division I schools, and it starts with Detroit. Detroit's not much bigger as far as, they're a mid-major school as well, but you've got to win those games. If you want to be a top team in this conference, you've got to come out and show that, a school like Detroit isn't going to be a struggle and that you can come out and just compete and win these sorts of games. And it's going to start, like I said, with Shannon Thomas, Brittany Shane, Deja Maddox. Those seniors have to get them going early and really just be the uplifting spirit to some of those younger kids once they get into trouble situations.
Shannon Thomas almost had a triple-double in this exhibition game this past weekend. She scored a total of 13 points. She had 9 rebounds, and she had 5 blocks in the game. Do you expect more of the same from her in this game against Detroit?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she's like we said, all-conference preseason selection. Very, very talented. I would be very surprised if she doesn't have another game where she's at that 15-point mark and 9 to 12 rebounds as well, plus 2 or 3 blocks on top of that.
It's a very exciting time right now to be at Indiana State University with all the athletics in full swing right now. We just saw the men's cross-country team get honored this past weekend for another championship of their own. That's their 3rd straight.
Oh, absolutely. Craig Padgett finishing 8th. Nice job there for that cross-country team.
That's all we have today for the video portion of Sports Extra, but be sure to stay tuned on 89.7 FM WISU for the next half hour of the show right after this short break.